What up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, coach of the Milwaukee Medichams, and welcome everybody to week 2 of the UCDL, where this week we're going to be going up against none other than Shroom Raver, the one and only Shroom Raver, coach of the Parasect Germain. Here are the teams. Blap. So, yes, my opponent has got a very gimmicky team. It's all horses, except for Mandibus. Mandibus counts as a horse. And Dragology. Yeah, the bird and the seaweed are horses here. Don't worry about it. But, yes, so overall, It's very gimmicky, but again, I'm very, very excited. Unfortunately, this is another time where I'm not bringing Palafin, which kind of feels not great, but I'm bringing Floatzel instead, because Floatzel unironically has a phenomenal matchup here. Like, Choice Band, Swift Swim just goes absolutely nutty into this entire team. So I'm hoping that I'm able to chip everything down with some of my threats. We are bringing the Rain Core this week, obviously, because Floatzel's here. Not that Floatzel needs the rain, but definitely very much enjoys the rain. So very, very excited. Hopefully things go well and we don't die, because that's kind of the ideal. I'm very scared of Keldeo in particular, but I have Sylveon for Keldeo, so it's not perfect, but we'll make it work. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Alrighty, here we go. So let's see what my opponent brings today. It is going to be obviously Spectrier, Keldeo, Iron Crown, Terrakion makes an appearance. Okay, Iron Leaves and Glastrier. So no Virizion, no Mandibuzz is phenomenal. No Dragology and no Glastrier is very interesting. No Cobalion makes sense. No Mudsdale makes sense. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so I was expecting Virizion. So that tells me, I'm wondering if it's going to be Booster Quark Drive on the Iron Leaves. I think that makes a lot of sense. So I think what I'm going to do, I do like leading off with I Am Joe. I like that a lot. I think, let's see. Spectre is obviously a pretty scary Pokemon, but I think we can work around it with the team that we have. So I feel pretty safe leading off with I Am Joe. If we see Terrakion, I go into Corv, I think. Well, okay, hold on a second, because I'm a Spadef Corv. Let me Terrakion. If you're Choice Band, I do not switch into that, so that's a bit scary, I won't lie. So maybe I lead off with Kilo? Let's see, I could also just immediately lead with Rain. What do I do here? I think leading with Rain is pretty safe, honestly. Because, yeah, the main Pokemon that wants to switch out against that is probably Crown, and obviously since we have Kilowattrel, it doesn't want to click Volt Switch reliably, so I'll do that. I'll go ahead and lead off with my Rain. And we have, if Keldeo is the lead, then we can switch into Sylveon. Sylveon is always my check for that, so that feels very good. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. Let's freaking go. I'm very scared. Whoa, that's a cute card. I love that card. Alrighty, very scared, but hopefully things go well. We are going to see lead off with the Musketeer to Terrakion. Okay. So immediately, very glad I led off with Politoed here. Weather Ball nearly one-shots. If you're banded, does 79 to 93% max with close combat. So I'm just going to immediately Weather Ball. I don't care. So I guess you could be Adamant. If you're Adamant, then that's a problem, but I think even if you are Adamant, it's not a guaranteed roll. So yeah, it's a roll in my favor to live. So I feel very safe. I'm very glad that I did not lead off with Overquill now. I'm very glad that I just led with this off rip. Also, let's see. I messed up here. What was there was a Pokemon, Close Combat. We are just going to see Close Combat. We do live. Let's go, Politoed. And that's a dead Terrakion. Immediately turn 1 is massive. That was definitely Choice Band. That makes a lot of sense. Weather Ball, bada bing, bada boom. Easy peasy. Terrakion immediately drops. Okay, very happy about that. So, and I don't think there's that many hazard control here. Let's see here. I messed up. I deleted the Pokemon that I shouldn't have deleted because I have Iron Boulder on here. And that's definitely not the Pokemon I'm supposed to have. So we're probably going to see Iron Leaves switch in which case, I think I go Corv against Iron Leaves, but I guess we'll see. If we see Keldeo, I immediately go into Sylveon. If we see Iron Crown, then I think I go into possibly Overquill. I'm not too sure. It's either Overquill or Kilo. We're going to see Crowning Coral, so that's going to be the Iron Crown, so that makes sense. Okay, so Iron Crown switches in. Glastrier. Glastrier did show up. I'm stupid. Whoops. Alright, so Iron Crown is the switch. I think I'm just going to go into I Am Joe. I do kind of like that. We're probably going to see a Volt Switch here, but I do have I Am the Bus. How well can Kilowattrel take a hit from this? I won't be able to take a Psyshock if they go for it. It's basically, do I switch in Kilo or do I switch in this Pokemon? What's my switch in for Spectrier? I do still have my Politoed alive, which is good. I think what I might do here is I might go into Joe What do I need here? I actually, I don't think I need Kilo as much. I'll go into Kilo, I think. Yeah, I'll go into Kilo Watch Roll here. I'll go into Kilo Watch Roll. Because I still have Float Soul for Keldeo. Like, I still have things that can deal with the things that this Pokemon checks. So if they go for Volt Switch, we get very heavily rewarded here. We are going to see the Volt Switch. Perfect. Let's go! Alright, beautiful. So, I would not be surprised if this is choiced. I'm thinking I could go for a Thunderbolt. I could go for a Hurricane here. Hurricane's pretty solid, and it'll tell me if you are choiced or not. So I think I do like going for Hurricane here. I don't need to go for Tailwind yet. I'll go for Hurricane here. I'll go for Hurricane and see if you're choiced. If you are choiced, you're obviously switching out here, and nothing wants to take this. So that's really great. So I'm very curious to see what they want to do. Let's see what they want to do, baby. The other thing to note, if they are Psyshock as well, that doesn't kill. So that's really good to know. We do see that they stay in, so they're not choice. So we land the Hurricane, bada bing, bada boom. We could get Confusion here. That'd be pretty cool. Okay, interesting. So they're staying in, and they're just going for it. Okay. That's fine. So that tells me you're probably Specs. So that's good to know. I'm gonna Hurricane again. I love the little head bobbling that Iron Crown is doing just as Kilowatch is flying, just like, whoa, 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 whoa. That's very funny. So they were predicting me to swap here, which is very interesting. So they're just gonna stay in again. Very intriguing. So maybe they aren't choiced. We are going to see the Confusion this time. That's great. Big fan of that. Let's see if they hit themselves a Confusion here. Kilo Watch Roll, I believe in you, Kilo Watch Roll. Ooh, Future Sight. I love that tech. I love it. I love it. I love it a lot. I love it a lot. Yes, I do. All right. I think here I might Thunderbolt. I could also Tailwind here. Let's see. How long does Rain last? Let me look. Rain lasts for 4 more turns. I think I can just go for either a Weather Ball or a Thunderbolt here. I think this time I might Thunderbolt, because it's very clear I'm staying in versus this. So yeah, we're just gonna get some more damage off on this Pokemon. Boom, perfect. Hit the Confusion, which is great. Let's see if they hit themselves. They go for Volt Switch again. Okay, that's fine. That is fine by me. So next turn we are going to take the Future Sight, so I will go into Joe here. And this will reveal that we're AV, but that's fine. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going into Joe, and they're probably going to finally get a Volt Switch off. But that also gives me very good information. It tells me that they're not, they're not choiced. So that's very good to know. We're just going to see Tachyon Cutter, actually. That's fine. That's actually really good. We're doing pretty well for ourselves right now. I won't even lie. This gives me a pretty free Crunch. I can do that for free. Actually, no. Maybe I don't do that here. Maybe I can just go for Liquidation. I think I might go for Liquidation here. This reveals that we're AV. You're probably going for Volt Switch? I don't know if you go for Volt Switch here, actually. I don't want to go for Crunch because I think Keldeo has a very good chance of switching in here. So maybe I double back into Kilo? Do I double back into Kilo here? What do I think comes in here? I think it's probably going to be Keldeo. I think Keldeo is going to switch in on this. So I think I could go into this. I could also just click Liquidation to get damage off, and you know what? I'll do that. I'll play it safe and get damage off. We're in a pretty good position right now, so we're kind of chilling at this moment in time. So we'll be fine. We are going to see the swap. We're probably going to see Keldeo switch in if I had to guess, and that's fine if we do. Hidalgo, that is going to be the Glastrier, actually. Very interesting. So we're going to fire off a Liquidation here. Bada bing, bada boom. Does a small chunk of damage. That's fine. Alright, so Glastrier is the switch, so I think what I might do here is I might go into I Am Driver. I do like that a lot, so I will go into I Am Driver here. I think that's a pretty solid thing to do. I do wish I should have been fully Fizzbulk on this Pokemon because Politoed was my switch-in for this, so I think that was a bit of a mistake to have the Spadef boosting on Corviknight. I was hoping to do a sweep, but I think I should have just fully invested in Fizzbulk because then Terrakion, I would have been able to switch in easier on Terrakion, but and also this thing, mainly this thing now. So if Glastrier goes down, then Corviknight is a sack, but I think ultimately, and I guess that, yeah, there's also Iron Leaves too, so Iron Leaves with Wild Charge is a problem. So I do need to keep both of those in mind. We're gonna go into I Am Driver here, Corviknight. Yeah, so I think that was a bit of a misprep on my part, but it do be like that. Also Pressure, because I'm stupid. Alright, we're gonna see an Icicle Crash here, bada bing, bada boom, that's fine. Okay. Small chunk of damage, Rain stopped, that is fine. Ludicrous, okay. And we are going to reveal lefties as well. So, there's a few things I can do here. I can go for a Body Press here. I can just go for raw Body Press damage, and I kind of like doing that. If Spectrier switches in, I have a check, so I'm going to go for Body Press here. If you want to stay in and get more damage on me, then you can. That's fine, but we are going to get a lot of damage in return. So we are going to see that they stay in. That does a small chunk of damage. Are you Weakness Policy? You're not. Okay, so you're going to go for SD. That's fine. So I think here I go for Bulk Up every single time. I like that a lot. So we are recovering with lefties. So we should be able to tank a hit, I think, at +1. I'm pretty sure. So I'm just going to go for bulk up here. I like that play a lot. I think that's very smart. So we're going to reveal the bulk up, bada bing, bada boom. If you're Mirror Herb, really well played. If you're Mirror Herb, absolutely well played. So let's see, are you Mirror Herb? You're not. Okay, so we see an Icicle Crash here, bada bing, bada boom. Alright, so that does a small chunk of damage, that's fine. So I think here I might click Body Press twice. I do kind of like that. Glass Treer. I do like clicking Body Press here. I need to be very careful with Iron Leaves. Iron Leaves is a threatening Pokemon to be dealing with right now. So I could Roost here to roost off the damage. And if they go for high horsepower, then I think I'll go for Body Press. I want to punish an SD. So I'll go for Body Press here. Boom. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Okay, so that's great. Oh, that was a crit. I am so sorry about that crit. We're just going to see a CC. Okay, so they were predicting me to go for the thing, but they are going to unfortunately go down here, so that is all good. So I think here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into... what do I want to go into here, actually? I could go into I Am Perish and just immediately set the rain back up, which I kind of like doing. I do like setting the rain back up here. I think this would bring in most likely the leaves, which is a problem. So how do I prevent leaves from switching in for free? I think I'm just going to go into I Am the Bus. Yeah, I'll go into I Am the Bus here. I think that's my best play. I think going into I Am the Bus makes the most sense. I could Volt Switch here, but if I had Volt Switch, but I don't. So I'm just going to go for Thunderbolt here. Bada bing, bada boom. Most likely they're going to let this thing go down. That is my assumption. Yep, they were going to let this thing go down. That makes sense. Boom. So yeah, I messed up on the Corviknight prep. I should have just made it fully Fizz Bulk. Then I would have actually been able to keep Corviknight alive, and this thing would have dropped, so because I would have had a defense boost. So that's a misplay on my part with Corviknight. It is what it is. Lessons learned, but I need to be a bit more careful moving forward. Keldeo is a threat. Iron Leaves is a threat. The Iron Leaves is probably going to be the swap here if I had to guess. Culturegeist. That's actually going to be Spec. So Spectre is going to switch in. I'm okay with this. I'm going to immediately just go into I Am Joe. We revealed at this point most likely that we are like the one thing, so that's fine. Spectre coming in here is okay. I'm very okay with this because Floatzel can 1v1 it. Is in the rain. We still have rain, so that's great. I'm very curious to see what they want to do. They could be going for Mudshot here. I think Mudshot is a pretty cool tech that this thing could run. Let's see what they go for here. We're just gonna see Shadow Ball. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna see Shadow Ball here. Boom. Does a small chunk of damage. That is fine. I'm going to now go for, I think I'm just going to go for a Liquidation. I like going for Liquidation here just because of the fact that I don't think you stay in, and I'm worried about Keldeo switching in here. I'm also worrying about Crown switching in here. So both of those could be a bit of a problem, so that's why I'm going to go for this attack. I really highly doubt you stay in with Spectre here. I don't think you're going to stay in here. So let's see what they want to do. We are going to see that they swap out Spectre, so we get that right. Let's see if Keldeo switches in, predicting the Dark move. It's going to be Kloppenheimer. That is going to be none other than Keldeo. So that makes sense. We're going to go for a Liquidation here. Bada bing, bada boom. Small chunk of damage. If we get the defense drop, hey, there we go. I asked nicely, and I got what I asked for. I'm going to immediately switch it to Trans Rights. This is always my switch in every single time. Keldeo can't really do anything to this. If they want to try to start setting up Calm Minds, I can just go for Hyper Voice and be fine. So, Sylveon was literally is here specifically to counter Keldeo, because Keldeo was the biggest threat for my entire team. I'm very curious as to why they're saving Iron Leaves so long. My guess is most likely Iron Leaves is booster energy, so that makes the most sense. We're going to see a Hydro Pump. They land the Hydro Pump. Bada bing, bada boom. Does a large chunk of damage. Is that like a boosting item here? Okay, it's not Choice Specs. It could be like Mystic Water. That would make sense to me. I'll Hyper Voice here. I think that makes the most sense. Because Sylveon's always my switch here. They missed their Hydro Pumps. I am so sorry. Sylveon coming in clutch. Let's go, Sylveon. Boom, that's a dead Keldeo. Holy crap, that's massive. That is massive for me. I am so sorry. I am so sorry about that. That is unfortunate. We could see Crown switch in, we could see Spec switch in, we could see Leaves, we could see anything switch in. I think I might let Sylveon go down here, depending on what comes in. It's probably going to be Crown, if I had to guess. And if Crown goes for Future Sight, then we get a free Wish Off, basically, is kind of what that comes down to. Sylveon did the job it needed to do, so we're going to see Crown and Coral. That is going to be this thing, the Iron Crown. So we're probably going to see a Tachyon here if I had to guess. We could see like a Future Sight or a Volt Switch here. I think in that case, I just go for a Wish. And if I'm able to Wish Protect, great. Yeah, we're just going to see Tachyon cover though. That makes sense. Okay, so Tachyon, bada bing, bada boom. That's fine. Floatzel, can you KO outside of rain? Yes, you can KO outside of rain, and it's not even close. So I think what I might do here, is go into I Am Sweeper and just click Liquid, because nothing wants to switch in on a liquidation from a Choice Banded Floatzel, even outside of range. So I'm going to go into this. Unfortunately, a Flip Turn's not going to kill, so it is what it is. Let's see. Actually, if you're max HP, liquidation. Actually, maybe I just Wave Crash. Maybe I just play it safe and Wave Crash. Yeah, I'll play it safe and Wave Crash here. You should always die to this. We know you're not Scarf at this point, so I Am Sweeper is going to claim a life, and it's going to be great. If they want to go into Leaves here, Leaves does not want to take this. So, and we have Ice Spinner for it, so this is fine. We are going to see the swap. Let's see if it's Iron Leaves as the switch, and let's see if you are Booster. You're going to see Leafy Leonard. That is going to be Leaves. This is still going to do a large chunk of damage to you. I'm assuming you're not Booster. Okay, so you're probably, you could be like Band, you could be Scarf. Rocky Helmet. Wow, okay. So that's fine. I'm okay with this. That's actually really good information. So I outspeed. So that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing for me. I think what I might do here, I might go into I Am Perish. I really like going into I Am Perish here. Because now this doesn't outspeed. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into I Am Perish and let that go down. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. This is really good. This is really, really great. We're gonna go into I Am Perish. Bada bing, bada boom. Hopefully you're not SD. If you are SD, then that's a bit of a problem, but we'll make it work. We're gonna see just Leaf Blade. Okay, that makes sense. So, Kilowatt Roll. Let me make sure that Kilowatt Roll can even kill. Oh yeah, 100% kills. Okay, so yeah, I just go for Hurricane here every single time. And, or I could even just switch into this and click Crunch. Crunch is such a free button click, actually. Hold up. I think I'm just going to go into this and click Crunch. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that. There we go. Yeah, Overcoil, like, now that Keldeo is gone, Overcoil looks absolutely phenomenal. So I'm going to Crunch here, bada bing, bada boom, and you are Rocky Helmet, obviously, but I think you're gonna die, so yeah. Something here drops, whether it's this, whether it's Crown, whether it's something else, something is going to drop, and it's gonna be great. They are gonna stay in. This could be like Max Bulk. It doesn't matter if it is, it dies. Critical Hit, I don't know if it mattered. I think it depended a lot on the spread. But regardless, Iron Leaves goes down, and that's the last Pokemon that's really threatening for, Floatzel. Obviously, Spectrier is still a bit scary, but we're mad chillin' now because we're in Swift Swim, and I don't think there's anything that they can do to get rid of this rain. So I think Overcoil might just win this outright. The Spectrier could be Scarf, and I think it might outspeed Overcoil if it is Scarf, but it won't outspeed Floatzel for sure. So Spectrier, if you are Choice Scarf, let me double check. Yeah, it'll outspeed Overcoil if I'm Scarf, but it will never outspeed Floatzel. So Floatzel should win the game here regardless. We're gonna see Coultergeist. That is going to be the Spectrier. So my guess is you're probably Scarf, and that makes the most sense to me. Let me double checking. Overcoil kill. Oh yeah, Overcoil can always kill. I'm clicking Crunch. Zero reason for me not to click Crunch here. Overcoil going crazy. Floatzel unfortunately didn't do as much as I wanted it to do in this match, but at the very least it survived. That's pretty cool. And it got a lot of crucial chip damage. If I'd gone for Ice Spinner there, then that would have been insane. We're gonna go for Crunch, bada bing, bada boom. Spectrier is dead. Beautiful. And the last Pokemon that's alive is Iron Crown. So I think Overcoil is just gonna take this and win. GG's to Shroom Raver. That was a really fun game. Definitely got very lucky with that Hydro Pump miss. Yeah, I definitely... My EV spreads weren't very good, is what I'm learning. My EV spreads weren't the best. What I should have done was I should have invested fully into Spadef with Sylveon, and I should have in another crit. Oh my gosh, I don't even think that was necessary, but dang, GG's. Yeah, I should have invested in fully in Fizdef for Corviknight to wall Glastrier, and I should have invested in fully Spadef instead of Modest Special Attack for Sylveon. And those are the things that I should have done different. It is what it is, though. We learned. We got lucky, but we will absolutely take those to the bank and back. GG's to Shroom Raver once again. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And also be sure to check out my opponent down in the description below as well. If you've heard of me, you've probably heard of Shroom Raver at this point, but regardless, this was a very fun game. So I very much enjoyed it. Really well played. Thank you all so much for watching. I really, really hope you all enjoyed. And with that all being said, I think I'll wrap it up here. I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!